Hello, everyone. So it's the last month of our speaking course. And I hope that during these 3 months that we had, you have practiced speaking, you have revised some grammar, and you have learned some new words. If so, I'm really happy. Um, so from now on, I'm going to add the grammar lessons with the use of AI tools. And this video is going to be explained, like this grammar topic is going to be explained not by me, but by my AI buddy. I hope you will like it and I hope that you will find it useful. And if you have some questions, you know where to find me. You can text me and we can always discuss your questions during our speaking sessions. So, good luck to you and see you at the speaking session.
How can a single phrase, just a few words, completely change reality, the future, or even rewrite the past? It sounds like science fiction, right? But it's actually a power you use every single day. Today, we're going to break down the incredible grammatical tool that lets us do exactly that.
So, welcome to the world of what if, the world of English conditional sentences. Think of them as the building blocks we use to talk about all kinds of possibilities, daydreams, and, yeah, even regrets. Every single one has two parts. You've got the if clause, that's the condition, and then the main clause, that's the result. Let's dive in and see how they really work.
All right, first things first, we're going to start our journey in the real world. This is part one, real conditionals. These are all about certainties and things that are super likely to happen. No guesswork here, just facts.
First up, we have type 0, which I like to call the unshakable truth. This is the one we pull out for scientific facts, general truths, habits. If one thing happens, another thing always follows. It's basically rock-solid cause and effect.
And the best part? The structure is beautifully simple. It's just if or when plus the present simple, followed by, you guessed it, another present simple. Simple condition, simple result. It's super direct because it's just dealing with what is.
And this is a perfect example. When it rains, the roads get slippery and dangerous. It's not a maybe, it's just a general truth we all get. See how when works just like if in this case? It's a pure statement of fact. Simple as that.
Okay, let's move to our next stop in the real world. Type 1, the possible future. Now this is the one we use all the time for making plans, for predicting things that could realistically happen. This is really the language of goals and consequences.
So the key thing to notice here is the little time jump. The if part is still in the present, but the result part, the main clause, it hops into the future with will. Or if we're not totally sure, we can soften it with words like may, might, or could. A present action points to a likely future outcome.
And here is a fantastic, practical example. If we work hard, we'll finish the project on time. See, this isn't just a daydream, it's a plan. It connects a real action, working hard, to a very probable result. You could totally call this the grammar of getting stuff done. All right, buckle up. We are officially leaving the real world behind. Welcome to part 2, imaginary situations. This is where things get really interesting. We're talking daydreams, wishes, and even a few regrets. Let's kick things off with type 2. The unreal present. This is your go-to tool for imagining a different reality, right now or in the future. We're talking about situations that are unlikely or maybe even flat out impossible. This is the official language of daydreaming. Now, you gotta pay close attention to the structure here because it's a little tricky. The if part uses the past simple tense. Now, why on earth would we use the past to talk about the present? Well, it's actually a clever grammar trick. It's our signal that we're stepping away from reality, and the result then uses would, could, or might. Let's take a look at Richard here. In reality, he does work long hours, and he is exhausted. But in his mind, he could invent a whole new reality. If he didn't have to work such long hours, he wouldn't be so tired. It's not real, but for a second, he can imagine it. And that, right there, is the magic of type 2.
And now for our last main type, and trust me, it's a powerful one. Type 3, the unreal past. This is how we look back at something that's already over and imagine a totally different outcome. This is so often the language of regret.
Okay, I know this one looks a little complicated, but it has a perfect logic to it. To talk about a past that never happened, the if part needs the past perfect, like if I had done this. And the result then uses would have to describe the imaginary outcome that never came to be.
Oof, this example really hits home, doesn't it? The reality is, she wasn't careful and she made a mistake. We can't change that. The past is set in stone. But we can look back and say, if she had been more careful, she wouldn't have made such a big mistake. It's a really powerful way to think about what could have been.
So let's just put these two side by side, because this is the really crucial difference. Type 2 is for daydreaming about right now or the future. If I won the lottery. Type 3 is for looking back at a past you can't change. If I had studied harder. One is about wishing, the other is about regretting. That's the whole ballgame.
Okay, you've totally mastered the 4 main types. So now, it's time to level up. Let's move to part 3 and check out some pro tools that'll expand your vocabulary and make your conditionals even more precise. Look, if is great. It's the classic, but sometimes you need a different tool for the job. Take unless, which is really just a quicker way of saying if not. So instead of if you don't study, you won't pass, you can just say you won't pass unless you study. See? It's cleaner. Or you can use provided that to make the condition a little stricter. You can go provided that you finish your chores. They all do a similar job, just with a slightly different flavor.
And check this out. See how adding just one little word can completely crank up the drama? I wouldn't go to the party even if they invited me. Whoa, that's not just a condition anymore. That's a statement. That even if tells you there is absolutely, positively no chance. These little alternatives are fantastic for adding some real punch.
And that brings us to our final section, your conditional choice. Let's wrap this up and put everything together. I mean, think about the journey we've been on, from unshakable, real-world truths all the way to the imagined pasts of our daydreams and regrets.
So what's the big takeaway here? The main thing to remember is this. These aren't just dry grammar rules to memorize for a test. They're creative tools, your tools. They give you the actual power to state facts, to make plans, to dream about different futures, and to reflect on the past. They let you explore every single possibility your mind can cook up.
And that really leaves us with one final thought. These structures, they're not just about grammar. They're deeply human. So I'll leave you with a question to ponder. Looking back at your own life, what is the one, if only, that one third conditional sentence that you feel would have changed everything?